They say love is beautiful, that it's the purest thing in the world. But what if the love you felt was forbidden? What if it was the kind of love that could ruin lives, destroy marriages, burn everything in its path? My name is Vanessa, and this is my confession. The story of how I fell in love with a man I was never supposed to have, and how, in the end, he destroyed me. I was never the kind of woman who fell too fast or too easily. I was focused, career-driven. I had my whole life planned out. And then Damien walked in. From the moment we met, there was an electricity between us, the kind of pull you can't fight no matter how much you try. He was charming, mysterious, intoxicatingly confident. He made me feel alive. But there was something else, too. Something about him felt off. I ignored it at first. I told myself I was just being paranoid. I should have trusted my instincts. Because Damien, he had secrets, big ones. It started with late-night conversations, subtle touches, a tension so thick I could hardly breathe. We told ourselves we were just friends, that the way he looked at me, the way I melted under his gaze, was innocent. It wasn't. One night we finally gave in. The guilt, the hesitation, it all disappeared the moment his lips crashed against mine. It was dangerous. It was intoxicating. It was forbidden. And I let myself fall. Hard. But the thing about falling for someone? You never know if they'll catch you or let you shatter. The first time I noticed something was off was when he refused to stay the night. I just don't sleep well next to someone, he told me. I believed him. I had no reason not to. Then came the unexplained disappearances, the phone calls he wouldn't take in front of me, the weekends when he was suddenly too busy to see me. I started to feel like I was losing him, like I was the other woman, even though I wasn't supposed to be. And then, one night, I found out the truth. It was a normal evening. I was scrolling through my phone, waiting for Damien to call like he always did. But instead, I got a message from an unknown number. I don't know who you are, but you need to back off. Damien is my husband. My heart stopped. I read the message over and over again, my hands shaking. My mind refused to process it. Husband number. That wasn't possible. He would have told me, but deep down, I already knew. Every little red flag suddenly made sense. I had spent months falling for a man who was already taken. And worse, I wasn't the only one. I confronted Damien the next day, expecting him to deny it, to beg for my forgiveness, to explain, but he just stared at me. I was going to tell you, he finally said, but I didn't want to lose you. Lose me? Lose me? He had never even had me. I should have walked away right then and there. I should have screamed, cried, thrown things. But instead, I did something even worse. I stayed. I told myself it wasn't wrong, that it wasn't my fault, that I wasn't the one who made vows to another woman. But every time we were together, every time I touched him, I felt the weight of what we were doing crushing me. And yet, I couldn't stop. I was addicted to the way he made me feel, to the danger of it, even when his wife kept calling, even when the messages got worse, even when I knew I was ruining someone else's life. I still let him pull me back in, until the night everything came crashing down. We were in his apartment. He told me he had finally made his choice. I love you, Vanessa, he whispered. I'm leaving her. And for the first time in weeks, I allowed myself to breathe. Then the front door slammed open, and standing there, eyes blazing with fury, tears streaking her face, was his wife. She didn't scream. She didn't cry. She just pulled a phone from her pocket and pressed play. A recording of Damien telling her everything. She doesn't mean anything to me. She's just a distraction. You're the one I love. I felt sick. I had risked everything for him. And in the end, I was just a game. I walked away that night, not just from Damien, but from the woman I had become. The woman who ignored every warning sign, who let herself be blinded by passion instead of truth. And now, Damien is still with her, still married, still lying. And me, I'm left with nothing but scars. I spent months wondering what was wrong with me. Why wasn't I enough? Why did he do this to me? And then I realized something far worse. I wasn't the first, and I wouldn't be the last. Damien was a predator, and women like me, we were just his prey. Now every time my phone rings, I wonder, is it another woman? Another woman just like me, desperate for the truth? And I wonder, should I tell her? Or should I let her learn the hard way? Just like I did? If they can lie to someone they swore to love, they can lie to you, too. The moment you become someone's secret, you've already lost. Not every love is meant to last. Some are only meant to teach you what to never accept again. I was a fool once, but never again. I had two choices: walk away and heal, or make Damien and his wife pay. I chose revenge. The woman, her name was Eleanor, already had a plan that would end Damien and his twisted game once and for all. We won't just expose him, she said. We'll destroy him, Mom. And so the trap was set. I created a fake persona online, a woman too good to resist. We used fake pictures, fake stories, and fake vulnerability to lure Damien in. And as expected, he took the bait. Within weeks, he was already telling my alter ego that he was falling for her, that she was different, that he was going to leave his wife. Same script, same lies. But this time, he was playing against women who already knew the ending. One night, Damien thought he was going to meet his new love in a luxurious hotel suite. Instead, he walked into a live-streamed intervention. The entire room was filled with his past victims, women from over a decade of his deceit. His wife was there too. But this time, she wasn't smiling. She had finally seen the truth. She wasn't his partner. She was just his longest-standing victim. The cameras rolled as Damien's entire world crumbled. The internet exploded with the scandal. His career, gone. His reputation, destroyed. His legacy, buried under his own lies. And as I walked away that night, leaving him to drown in the wreckage of his own making, I felt nothing but peace and was ready to move on with my life. However, I thought it was over. Until I got a letter few weeks later. No return address, no name. Just 6 chilling words scribbled in messy handwriting. You think you've won? Think again. My blood turned to ice, because no matter how many times you think you've killed the monster, some monsters never die. Some heartbreaks don't just break you, they change you. Some men don't love you, they study you. And when you destroy them, they don't just disappear. They watch, they wait, they plan. And now, I have to be ready. Because this time, the game isn't over. It's just beginning. I burned the letter. I wasn't going to let Damien get inside my head again. But deep down, I knew this wasn't over. A week later, I started noticing strange things. My front door was unlocked, even though I was sure I had locked it. My favorite coffee shop barista mentioned my husband, but I wasn't married. A black car idled outside my apartment for hours. And then, one night, as I lay in bed, my phone buzzed. "Miss me?" I sat up, heart pounding. Another message popped up. "Check your closet." I turned slowly. The closet door was slightly open. I hadn't left it like that. With shaking hands, I walked over, reached for the handle, and pulled it open. Inside, a single red rose lay on the floor. Pinned to it was a note. Round 2. Some nightmares don't end when you wake up. Some ghosts don't stay in the past. And some men don't accept defeat. I thought I won. I thought I destroyed him. I was wrong. Now, the game had changed. And this time, it was my move.